Hello and welcome back to Backyard History Battles. Today we're going to be talking about Union forage caps. What's quality, what's not, what you should be looking for, and a little bit of details about them. Stay tuned. Just like in the sack coat video, I'm going to talk about each one of the examples that I have and explain some of the details that may or may not be quality and what to look out for when you're purchasing your forage cap. On camera, it may be hard to distinguish the differences in these hats, but I'm going to try my best to show you each one individually. The first one I'm going to be showing you is a standard Settler Row forage cap. I don't know which settler it came from, but you're going to find these just about anywhere. I mean, whether you're at a reenactment or if you go online, this is going to be your budget hat. And honestly, there's not a lot that they can get wrong with one of these. Part of the things they could get wrong is just the way they're made and the way they slouch. And oftentimes the sides here will poke out by where your ears are or where the buttons are. And that's a pretty noticeable thing. It's just minor construction details that you're going to notice with these. The wool, of course, is that cheap, dark wool that will fade to purple if left out in the sun. And the leather is just a lower quality leather overall. You're not going to find one of these hats with a shellacked bill like you will with a Dirty Billies or Cicala or Goober Grabber or any of those high-end hats. You're just not with one of these, but they are significantly cheaper. Of course, they're going to be anywhere between $25 to $35. I mean, that's significantly cheaper than $135. Moving on to the second hat. This is a Veteran Arms forage cap. Now, I had made a short video in the past on this hat. I likened it to Dirty Billies. Now, I'd like to rephrase that. The quality is not to par with Dirty Billies or any of those other quality makers, but it has some notable features that make it closer to those hats, and for the price it is definitely a good option. This is no more than this hat here. Veteran Arms sells these, I think, for about $30 or so, but the bill has that shellacked shiny look to it, whereas it's a little almost too shiny. It still gives, you know, a better idea of what it should look like versus a cheaper hat. The band is actually pretty nice. It also has a bit of that shellacked look. And the wool, it's actually a very vibrant color. I like the wool on this. It's actually a very soft, breathable wool. A big thing with your forage caps is just wearing them properly, making sure that the crown rests kind of close to where the bill is and doesn't stick up like this. That is a big part of wearing your hat properly and just looking the part. The next hat, this is a CNC Sutlery forage cap. I pinned the crown down so that it will stay in like a fixed position, especially if like I'm loaning this hat out to somebody who just kind of throws it on and doesn't know how to properly wear a hat. That way they don't have to worry about it sticking up, or maybe it is a little big on their head. This is a pretty large hat, but it's one of those hats I've had in the loaner box. But it is one of their higher quality hats. This isn't their budget line one. This is the one that is made in the USA and does actually have some pretty nice features overall. The wool may be a little dark, but other than that, it actually does have Waterbury buttons. I just now noticed that is a nice feature. The brass is nice. The leather appears to be very quality, pretty good quality for that matter. This one, it's been through a lot, so I need to make a repair on it. But other than that, it's held up, you know, over time. It's got a pretty nice sweatband, and they even added a little detail of putting a contract sticker on the inside like you would see with your nice quality hats. These next two hats are Dirty Billies, and they are the exact same hat. One of them I've had longer than the other. These are M&G number 6 New York contract hats. They're just a pretty standard forage cap. This one has the bill pinned down. That was the way it was when I got it, and I left it that way. I like the way that it's aged. It looks very nice. And, you know, you can't beat Dirty Billies. I mean, I still would recommend to anybody. Yes, there's other makers out there. I mean, you got Goober Grabber, Stand By Your Colors, many other hat makers that are making exceptional hats these days, but Dirty Billies is still a good, safe bet for anybody looking for a quality hat. And like I said, this one is just the same thing. This one is a slightly smaller size. It has the sticker on the inside. It's got a nice sweatband. The leather is wonderful quality. The chin strap is nice quality. Of course, you're going to expect that. And then this last hat here, this one, it's actually a little rough. I bought this one on eBay. It had a patch here, and I didn't realize it was glued on, and I tried to get it off, and it definitely ripped part of the fabric off. But when wore properly, like this, you don't notice that I kind of made a blunder in that regard. I got it at a pretty good affordable price, so I can't be too upset, and it makes for a wonderful loaner hat. But the quality is exceptional. This is probably actually one of my favorite hats, at least, but it unfortunately is too small for my head. It is pretty small in my head. The leather is nice. The construction is really, really nice. It has almost like a teal collar, but a lot of cicala stuff tends to be like a different collar wool than you would expect, or a different dye than you expect. Like these are all very much navy, but a lot of manufacturers, the colors of the dyes change constantly. No two hats are likely to be the same. I mean, you're mixing batches of dyes constantly. I mean, you're going through it constantly. So you're going to have many variations in dye colors. So that's what I like about these cicala hats. It's an LJ&I Phillips contract hat. Of course, it tells you your size on the inside, U.S. Army. And it's just overall a really well-made hat. In the future, I'd like to do a more detailed video talking about the different types of forage caps, like your type 1s, your type 2s, your special contracts, stuff like that, and go into a little bit more of the history. That'd be a bit more of an advanced video rather than just a reenactor's guide like this for new reenactors. This is just to talk about the difference in quality and the different types of hats that you can find out there on the reenactors market, and really what to look for. All right, so what is my verdict? Well, I can't tell you how much money you have to spend on your hat, because I don't think that is right. Everybody has their own budget. I will steer you in a direction though. Your headwear is very important. It is the first thing people see when they look at you, apart from maybe your sack coat. It's your upper body. So I would say try and get a quality hat, such as the Dirty Billies or your Goober Grabbers or Stand By Your Colors, whatever manufacturer that you can get your hat from. Now, if you are on a tight budget and you can find these in stock on Veteran Arms, I recommend this. Like I said, this isn't a fix-all. I would definitely recommend getting something that's going to hold up, is a little more quality, and last you a little longer. But this definitely has good qualities in it. So this little bit has nothing to do with these forage caps in particular, but I want to just talk about Kepis versus forage caps. A lot of reenactors tend to group them together or call all forage caps Kepis because they're different hats. When you're looking for a hat to wear and you are an enlisted man, go with a forage cap. I know that a lot of sutlers will kind of, if you're buying like a package uniform, they'll have the option for a Kepi or a forage cap. Go with the forage cap. Kepis were private purchased. They were private purchased by NCOs, typically, or senior officers. They were not something that the enlisted man would typically have. And if they were to have them, it was probably a unit-based thing, or a thing that was issued to their unit specifically. Some details about a Kepi that's different than a forage cap is that the crown is fixed. It doesn't go up and slouch over like a forage cap would. And overall, the construction is a little more neater, a little more militaristic. It was French in design, whereas the forage cap kind of derived from the shako. just without being structured like a shako. Like if you were to hold it up, well, let's see here. If you were to hold it up, it kind of resembles a shako, but that slouch is just to give it a little bit more style, to make it more of a fatigue hat. Real quick, I want to talk about how to wear your forage cap. So a lot of people throw their hat on and they wear it like this. That is, it looks goofy. I will say though, there are period photos and they do wear them like this sometimes, but there could be various reasons why. Maybe they were new. They were new recruits and they didn't quite know how to wear a hat like this, because this wasn't a common hat. This was still like a kind of a new thing, and or they just didn't really care. But I think as a reenactor, to look proper, you know, to not stand out as looking a little goofy, you have to wear your hat right. So what I do is I take the crown and I pinch it down to where the bill is. And I place it on my head like this. That's going to give you that slouch. If you were to just throw it on like this, maybe not so much, especially with a cheaper hat. They tend to just stick up no matter what. You have to mess with them a little bit. Another thing too is it was common to wear your hat at a bit of a tilt. So if you were to wear your hat a little off to the side, that's what I always do. If you see me in just about any video, my hat's going to be tilted off to the side like this. It was very common. It was a style thing, and personally, I understand why. It looks kind of cool. Oh, I didn't see you there. Oh, that's right. We're doing a video. I hope you found some useful information in this video today. Yes, I know some of the information may have been pretty generalized. This isn't meant to be an advanced or very detailed video on forage caps. You could really get into the different makers. You could get into the different types of forage caps made during the Civil War for the Union Army. But I wanted this to be a useful guide for the new reenactor to just get a little idea of what he needs to look for. With that being said, this has been another installment on the Reenactor's Guide. We hope to see you back here on Backyard History Battles.